Hello and welcome to Crafting with Jane. What happens when you have a paper pad that you absolutely adore and you want to get the most out of each page? Well, today I'm going to show you how to make 5, possibly 6 cards out of one sheet of this beautiful paper. Now, the paper is, as I said, absolutely stunning. I'm just going to quickly flick through. If you love beautiful images that you can use for spring, summer, autumn, winter, then this is one for you. Absolutely beautiful. The porcelain figures, just stunning. And I think that they are probably some of my favourite papers because there's so much in them and I love the look of them. You've got these at the front as well, so you've got another 6 cards you can make out of that. And on the back as well, you've got another 6 cards. You've also got lovely floral papers as well. So you've got, you know, beautiful floral papers if you wanted to use those. So I love this, but I love the images of the ladies. Not so much the florals, but I do like some of the florals. So how am I going to make the most out of it? So I'm going to show you each one at a time. Stay tuned to the end because we are going to be doing 5 or 6 different cards. So let me put this out of the way and let me get the first image out. Now, what I've done is, I'm just going to take it out like this to show you. I have just cut round the image of this girl and I've chosen it to be an autumn card because we've got lovely sort of oranges and browns and things which will make beautiful winter cards. So I have decided that I wanted to add something more to this. So I have taken a background and I have cheated because I've taken another piece of paper. So this is, and I haven't decided which side. This is paper called William Morris-esque because it's William Morris style papers. Now I could have it this side, or I could have it that side, and I haven't really decided which one I'm going to use. What I want to do is I've done some little leaves because I want it to be autumnal, and I'm going to put this on here, and I want to sort of roughly cut round it. So, but I don't want it to be overly, because I might stick it on with dimensional. So I'm literally going to take it like that, get myself a pair of scissors. And what I want to do is I'm just going to hold it because I just want to take a sort of a wide edge round here, as if I was doing a border. But I want it to be bigger than a border, so I'm trying to get it as wide as I can, just to give a nice sort of edge and make it just a little bit different. So we can take it up to here, and then we'll take this one round so it just comes in like that. And then I'm just going to take this down on here, because I want to have a really fairly wide sort of border, but I want to give it so as if it's had a wash over with sort of paint. So I'm just going to take this round like this. Now I can leave, and what I might do is to leave that straight edge there and just see how that goes in on here. So we'll take that to there and that to there, because that is going to come right up to that edge, you see. So I don't mind that coming right up to that edge because that's where it's going to go. So if I put like that, you see how you sort of got that sort of edge coming through. And I think that works reasonably well because it almost gives like a sort of a shadow coming through. So that's going to come in like that. And I still haven't decided whether I want it with this paper or with that paper. It needs to come that way up. What do we think? Difficult to tell, isn't it? Let's have a look and see when we put our leaves on. I do quite like the pale because it's more neutrally, isn't it? But I'm not sure whether it is. Let's put it that way down, I think. Yes, that's better because you've got more of sort of the orange in toes, because I want it to be like a winter card. Okay, so let's start building this up a little bit. So what I want to do to start off with is I want to put this base in on there. That's going to come on there. That's going to come on there. I don't think I'm going to glue it down for now. I'm going to leave it like that so we can just see. And this is basically half a sheet. And then I'm just going to put some of these little leaves just round in on the edge like this, because that gives me that sort of autumnal feel. So I can put this, so you can see how the leaves are coming in over where we've got the paper. So we could in fact even just tuck them in underneath. That would work better, wouldn't it? So let's tuck them underneath our little border like this. So that is going to give a beautiful little background like that. Okay, so we're going to work our way round. I don't think I'm going to do it all the way round, but I think I'm going to do it partially. Okay, that's how we're going to do it. So let's start putting this together. I need some glue, don't I? Have I got some? I was going to use some tape runner, wasn't I? Here we go. I've got some of this on here. Let's use this one. That's quick and easy, isn't it? I'm trying to use up bits and bobs that I've got, so I've got quite a lot of this. So I'll put that there, a little bit down the centre. Okay, so you're going to have to excuse my head to come through because I've only got 1/8 of an inch border on this, which is fine, but wait, very small border, but that's fine. I think that's, have I got that? No, I'm terrible at getting things straight. This is almost, doesn't give me much of a border at all. It's literally just 1/8 of an inch, hardly 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so now we're going to put this paper in on top. I'm going to do the same. I tend to use wet glue because you have a bit more wiggle room, but as I say, I'm trying to use up some of the bits and bobs that I get given by people. So do we want it this way up or do we want it that way up? This way up. Okay, so this is going to come in and this will give us a little bit of a bigger border like that. Okay, so we've decided on that one. Then we're going to put this one in because I want this to come in because that flat edge is going to come up to that flat edge there like that. So this one I am going to use some wet glue. Grab my wet glue. And we're going to put this in like this. Go. And then I need to make sure that that straight edge comes up on there, and then it goes in like that. Okay, so now I can put her in on top, and I'm going to put her up with dimensionals because I want that extra bit of height. So let me get some foam pads out. And we're going to put these in on here. And you want to be, don't be frugal with your foam pads, you know, get buy a large selection and then just dot them about, because if you're a little bit frugal with them, you get dips and bumps, particularly when you've got something of this sort of size. Now, you can use sheets if you want to, so you can get foam sheets and cut them out. You can get the sheets like that you can get the same as felt, but they're not felt, and you literally just take a whole pile of them and cut round it and then glue it on. But I don't mind using foam pads on here. Now I need to get a little bit up on her hat, so if it's a bit small, you can always cut them down. So I'm just going to cut these down just a little bit so that they go in on here, and we can put that one in there. We can put that one in there. So I think that's probably about right. Okay, let me take all of this off. And as I say, you know, I don't edit because I like people to see exactly how the whole process goes, how long it takes, and my ramblings and thoughts at the same time. So, you know, you can always fast forward the bits that you don't want, but I know that a lot of my subscribers actually enjoy watching the whole video and are not fussed with. I remember I said, oh, I'm trying to get them down to 10 minutes, etc. If I'm doing something that takes a little bit of a process, then you can't rush things in 10 minutes. Yes, you can edit and speed it up and things like that, but then that's not me. So she is going to come in, and I need to make sure that I've got the, before I stick it down. So she's going to come in. Like that. I'm going quiet because I wanted to make sure that I had it round. There we go. Okay, so now I want to pop these in underneath. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the end because I don't need too much of it, and I'm just going to put them in underneath. So I'll show you how I did these in a minute, but they will give this lovely sort of autumnal feel. Let me just bring that up a bit so you can see it. And I'm just literally mixing and matching without thinking about it too much, because if you think about leaves that come down, they're not going to be all exactly the same colour. They're going to be a multitude of colours, and you don't need to be overly fussed on them. So I'm literally just mixing and matching as we go and adding them in to make sure I've got the right way up. There we go. Another one in on here. To work out which side I'm doing it in. And say I'm only just doing the bottoms of it because I actually want a little bit sort of coming through. So let me show you what I've done, making sure that I'm keeping all the other projects under wraps so that you see them as we go forward. Trying to make sure that I don't have bits everywhere. Okay, there's another one. Now what I've done is, let's take this out of here. Whoops. There we go. Okay, so what I did was I literally just stamped this leaf, which is, I will show you in a minute, but I just stamped it out and then just cut around them. And it doesn't matter I coloured them in with alcohol markers because I like the way alcohol markers look, and they give, particularly if you're using a photographic image, as it were, so a professionally stamped image, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've got everything that's looking as uniform. So if I just did like a wash on it, it wouldn't look right with the papers and the background. So that's why I decided that I was going to do it this way. And these little leaves, I could take them in and just cut them around like that. And that's all I did. I turned around and just took different colours and shades, so you can see some are brown, some are as autumn leaves will go. Some of them are brighter than others, which is fine. Some are more sort of rustic than others, which is fine. And I just took a few shades. Now here, you don't have to overly worry about your fussy cutting. Can you see I've just taken all of the detail bits on there and the colouring as well, because you can cut down your leaf and then it doesn't make much difference how you do it. So I'm just going to take a few of these so we can just move them around, and I could take them all the way around, but I probably won't. But you could do if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you how you decide to do it. Let's just take a couple of these brown ones. We'll take these ones from here. So I would probably go through all of these and then literally just mix and match and put them in so that I've got the colours that I want. So let me just take this one out. But you can see it doesn't take you many minutes at all to cut them out. I tend to do all my colouring in one go and then leave it to dry, and so I have what you call ephemera, little pieces and bits and pieces and stuff that you can add to things as and when you think about it. So we're into autumn now, so I want to have little bits and pieces which have an autumnal feel. So if I decide that I'm going to cut out some leaves, I will then keep them and just put them in a pot, and then I've got them ready if I want to just add a few leaves to something, and that automatically turns it into more of an autumnal, or fall for our American and Canadian friends. Say, changes it into a completely different feel. So let's take this one in like this. It's going to be my last one, but you can see, you know, I've done about half a dozen or so, and it hasn't taken very long at all. So there we go. Now put my glasses down here for a second. So I'm just going to add a few more of these in here because I just like the look of that. And you just, as I say, want just a little spot. I'm just sort of bringing it round like that. And as I say, you can build it up as much as you want. So we'll have one down on the bottom here, with maybe another one in here. Whoops. Sure it doesn't come over the paper. That's probably a little bit of a big one, but that'll do. Stick it in like that way. And then you don't have to do all of them in one. You see, I've just put a couple there, and I could put a couple. Do I want to have them out from here? Maybe just sort of a few dotted halfway down. Don't think I want them all the way down, so let's just put one sort of there. Take that out a little bit. So I'm just adding little bits and bobs as we go. Let's put that one there. Like that. It's quite nice to have them just underneath, because, as I say, it then just shows up. So I'm just literally dotting them about now. Sorry, I've got a bit of glue on my fingers, so it's sticking to me. I've only got a few more of these. As I say, do as many or as few as you want. I just think it's quite nice to just have just a few sort of dotted about. It's coming in and out. So as I say, you've got this sort of autumnal feel about it. And as I say, I probably would, knowing me, would carry on and just add quite a few more, because I quite like that sort of look, you know, building it up and building it up, so you've got lots of different layers. But I'm not going to do that, because you get the idea, and if you get the idea, then you know what I mean. So I would carry on with this all the way round, dotting pieces about, and then I would put a sentiment on it. But you can see how beautiful that is with that image. So what happened to the rest of the paper? Let me go back to this. So for example, if you which one was she? Let's find her. Is she on here? I don't think she is. Maybe she's in on here. I'm going to try and find her for you. So she's got the big brimmed hat, hasn't she? Maybe she's not in on here. She's not in on that one. Can you see her? She's not in on that one. She's not in on that one. And she's not, isn't that interesting? She's not in on those. So anyway, so for example, if it was this one and I cut her out like this, you've still got all of this and all of this and all of this over. So if you turn it over, you would have all of those pieces of the paper over. So that's what I've done. I thought, okay, I don't want to waste any of these papers because I absolutely love them. So I have done, we're going to do a few more projects. So let me show you one that I've done, and this I think is a really neat little idea. So let's move this one out of the way. So this is a little book. Now I've done this with little ring binders. I didn't have any ring binders, so I just used some very fine wire and bent them. Little paper clip on top, so you can actually clip that to a journal. You can clip that to you know, if you wanted to, you can clip it to whatever you want on here. I'm not going to do that on the card, but it gives you a nice little booklet that you can put little things in, and I just put a little sentiment, life is a beautiful ride, on there. So very simple, and I used a little piece at the front and a little piece at the back. So that gives you a very neat, very easy little booklet. And all you do is you cut your piece and just some coordinating paper. This was 2 inches by 2 inches. And then I marked with a marker pen, so you could see it quite well, 4 little holes or 4 little dots. Then I used my crocodile and just punched 4 holes through, then put the little rings through, and you've got yourself, as I say, a little book that opens up quite nicely. So that's project number 2. So I thought I would show you another one, which is again out of one of the little scraps of paper. So this time we have got a little scrap which is that size. So that measures, let me have a look, it's 1 inch by 2 3/4 inches. So tiny little scrap. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that in half like that. And I'm going to use, have I got a bone folder at hand? I thought I'd put my bone folders away, but probably not, knowing me. No, here they are. I only want a little one. So just crease that with the bone folder. And then I've just got, you know, when you're cutting your papers, you have little bits over. So again, I've just got these ones and I need to fold these in half. I'm doing them separately because if I do them in a bulk, I'm not going to be able to bone fold them easily. And I've got, I can't remember how many, I just cut a few. But as I say, when you're cutting, particularly this 1 inch, when you're cutting your papers down, you normally have lots of little strips like this over. Now, I might be able to do a couple at this time, but as I say, I don't want them to be, take that like that. I don't want them to be too bulky, which is why I want to do it with the bone folder to start off with. Okay. Now, you can always sew these. So if you're like good at sewing and want to do sewn in signatures, you can do. These, because these are quite small, I'm not going to do that. And you could put a little ring binder in this one again. But again, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to make this very simple. If you haven't got any of these tools, most of you will have a hole punch. So all we're going to do is we're going to put all of these in here like this. And I'm hoping, says me, what did I do with my hole punch? Here it is. I'm hoping that this is going to come through. So you can see we've got our line. So I need to make sure that the line is going to be in the center. So I'm just going to line it up where it's going to be. Put that in the center as much as I can. And then I'm going to stand up for this because I'm hoping it will go through all of these, which I think it will. And it has done. And then you can fold it across like that. Now, I could have put this part in on the other side. I'm not going to, because I'm going to, on this, I've just put a little tiny sentiment, which is just no, not today, which I thought was quite fun and matches up. And I'm just going to literally just put this in on here. So these are tiny little bits of sort of ephemera that you can just put, come on, Mr. Glue, so that you can just put them where you want, put them as little tags on presents and things, which is what I tend to do quite often. Put that in like that. Okay, now if you wanted something just down on there, you could put a little spine, or you could put a tiny little bit of washi tape. So let me have a look and see if I've got any washi tape that's about. Didn't think about doing the washi tape bit, but I do quite like doing washi tape sometimes. So let me see if I've got, have I got washi tape in this tin? Yes, probably. Okay, so I always keep lots of bits of, most people have some washi tape of some sort. So what I want is something that's fairly neutral. That's a bit of sort of gold. That might work, mightn't it? Because you only want a little bit just to cover where the staples are. So all I'm going to do is to take a little piece like that. I'm going to fold it over from there and just fold it over on the other side. You don't need much, just need a little bit that gives you a little bit of a spine, but not too much. Now you see I'm giving it a bit of space because I'm going to trim it off with scissors. So I'm just going to stretch that across. And then all that does is it makes those staples, or that little piece that's got the staple on, just a little bit smoother. So we're just going to cut that down like that. And we've got, and put that there. And then we've got another fun little book that you can just put one little word in there or whatever. So, you know, they're just fun little things, aren't they? And again, you can put a little, I would probably just have that tucked into a little pocket, but you could put a little jump ring in on there if you wanted to, and have it as another little fold up one if you wanted to. So that's just a little bit of washi tape on there, and that will cover any staples or things and just make it look a little bit neater. So that's project number 3, which is a really simple one. Then I thought, okay, let me have a look at, and you can see I've still got this piece of paper and I've got 2 others as well. So I'm going to do these ones next, which are going to be very simple ones. So clean and simple card. This is a standard size card. This is a lovely little piece, and all I'm going to do is glue it onto here. So I've just done a little mat. Again, use your scraps, use what you've got. This is all about frugal crafting and doing one sheet and trying to make the most out of it in different ways, rather than just, you know, chop it and making lots of different cards. This is a way of making some other little projects as well as making some cards. So that one little piece like that, I'm just going to put that straight in the center. I'm not going to fuss with it at all. I've just left a little bit. I don't think, have I got glue on that bit? Yes, I have. Okay, so all I'm going to do is clean and simple. So the paper is the show, because I really like this, because this has, again, a sort of a vintage type feel to it. So that's going to go straight in the center, or as near to the center as you can. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is to put a sentiment on there. Now, sentiments, you can type sentiments, but you can also, now these are just some sheets. So sending love, that's quite nice. To my friend, that's quite nice. Now I could have it with white with black lettering, which is quite fun, or I could have black with white lettering, which is quite nice. Now I just want to have, bloom is quite nice as well, isn't it? So have we got a bloom in on here? Yes, we have. I think now what we can do is to take it, says me, I've just got this. So we're not doing any stamping. I've got a little scrap of that piece over. So I'm going to take the bloom, which is just a sticky one. So again, you don't have to do a lot. And I'm just going to stick that in on the center like that. So you can stamp them if you want to, but again, if you're in a hurry and you're wanting to do some quick cards, you don't have to do the stamping. So all I'm going to do is literally just trim this off here. And trim it off here. Trim that one off a little bit. I need to take that one down a bit, do I? That I think is perfect. So all I'm going to do is to just put that in on the center, and that's that card. Clean, simple. You could put another image on there, so you could put, you know, some flowers or something around there, but I think that this works perfectly just as a very easy, clean and simple card. So we've got that to go in there, we've got that to go in there, and that can come just straight like that in the center. There we go. And that's all you need to do. Very clean, very simple. You could put something around the edge if you want to, but then it takes it away from being clean and simple. So that's number 3. Let's put that on the side. We'll review them all at the end. And number 4 is the same sort of style, but I wanted to, is that number 4 or number 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5. Can't count. Okay, so this is the same, just a different scrap of paper, because again, we all have scraps. And again, you can use whatever paper you've got. I'm just showing you this because this is the paper that I absolutely adore. And I wanted to show you all. It's only just been released. Now, I will, as I always do, put a link down to the Indigo Blue shop so you can have a little look and see, because they have the most beautiful things. Right, that's going to go in on here, so I'm just going to glue that in. And I've still got another piece over, so I think I could probably do about 8 cards with that, or I might even do just a slightly bigger booklet in on here. Okay, let's put that one in like that. So that's the center of that one. Now I've got, which I was going to do as my 6th one, but I don't think I will. That's a little butterfly that I had. Now I could have that. That doesn't quite go, does it? No. So we're not going to have that. Now these I cut. I had some little bits just round the edges, and you know me about not wasting. So I just cut some of these little flowers out. So I thought what I could do with these is just, I could take them round the edges if I wanted to. Or I'm going to leave that as it is and keep that very simple, and then just do another one of these. Now we had that with the white on there, didn't we? Should we have beautiful? That's a bit bigger, isn't it? So I need beautiful to go on, and again a little scrap. That was the bit that we cut out, so you don't need anything too much. And I'm just going to have this on here, because then these are just because cards. I tend to send quite a lot of just because cards, because that's quite nice, you know, when it's just because. And again, you know, you don't have to spend a lot of time in stamping and doing things like that. You can just cut things out, get stickers, find all ways to make your crafting easier if you don't have time, or if you're on a budget and you don't want to be buying lots of stamps and things like that. You know, 1 pack of paper, which is basically all we've used. Well, we've used 1 sheet. You can make a whole pile of cards. There we are. That's going to come in the center. And again, I'm just going to put it straight in the center like that. I don't want it outside. I want to keep everything within that central point, because that gives you that plain and simple look. And you can build on this as much as you want. So you can add different layers at the back. But you can keep this just very plain, very simple, and it makes a beautiful, beautiful card, which just is plain and simple. So we've got that one on there. So that's we've got 5 now, and this one was going to be my number 6, which again, as I say, all I've done is to cut these little tiny flowers out, and I might come back and do another card with these too. So we've still got, out of this 1 sheet, we've done 5 projects, and I've still got this piece and these little cutout pieces to use. So I'm going to come back later on and do another video with those, because I think we've done enough on there. But that shows I've done 5 on this, and here's another 2. So 6, 7, maybe 8. I'll show you the ring one, I think, on this one next time, but let me show you what we've done. Very quick, very simple, very easy. I'm going to take this out of the way so that's not in the way, because that I will use later on. And as I say, this is just the 1 sheet of 8 by 8. So we've got this huge card here, which is half a sheet of A4 in this one, with all the autumnal things. And again, I would put a happy birthday, anniversary, anything like that on there at a later date when I decided when I was going to send it. Then we've got this little one that we made, lovely tiny little book that again we can have in as just a little thing stuck on there, or we can have it in our journals and things. We've got this one with the little rings on there, and then I've just put a paper clip at the top, which again you can work on. And then we've made 2 very pretty, clean and simple cards. So 5 projects, 1 sheet of 8 by 8, and we've still got a lot to, you know, I can still do probably another 2 or 3 projects out of it. So frugal can be good. Lots of ideas for you. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.